Oh,
Now we're live
now we're live and alive
and
and all
alive, and it's
the things.
Friday. And you're
Yeah.
outside. I'm very impressed. You're getting outside, enjoying hopefully a nice day.
Well, one of the things we talked about, Matt, was being grateful.
Yes.
And I'm here in Chicago, and there's just a few weeks left that
Yeah.
I'm going to be really grateful about summer. And so I'm trying to take as many meetings as I can outside.
Yeah, the first one of these we did, you remember I was outside with my wife's garden and I was holding it and so I haven't done it since, but we're in that mode of it, like we have that short Seattle summer where it's nice out, it's like high 70s, no humidity. So I'm gonna get out there soon. But like I was really impressed this morning. We tackled team dynamics, and we could have gone for hours with our guests, with sort of our expert, and just talking about, especially in this pandemic moment with higher anxiety, higher stress, businesses making a lot of changes, everyone working from home, how marketing leaders, how we as business leaders just sort of provide sort of guidance and confidence and resources for our teams is more important than ever. And I thought this morning was a great set of tools, cognitive tools, and others to just help people manage right now.
Yeah, I mean, just some boom stats. I love a good boom stat. 69% of the workforce is getting burned out from remote work. We have 3 times more mental illness, mental health issues
Yeah.
than ever before. And what was it, like 29, almost 30% of the workforce has some sort of mental health issue right now. So
Yeah. The stat that I heard was a third of Americans are showing signs of clinical anxiety, not just anxious, like clinical anxiety. And look, I'm an anxious person. I take anxiety meds every morning. It's something I had to deal with big time about 14 years ago, and it's still something that I work through. And I think
you have
that's
to work on it I know we've all got, it's mental health is something you have to work on every single day.
well, and I think it's really important then you think about your team, and you've got, like, we don't have team meetings, we don't have hallway conversations, we're not seeing body language the way we used to, even though we're sort of sometimes looking at each other in Zoom. So being hyper aware of people on your team that are going through some of these challenges, being proactive at, helping them talk about it, helping them feel like it's okay, helping them feel like it's acceptable and normal if not everything is going well. And I thought Jackie this morning did a really nice job. Sort of one of the things that really stood out is when she, doing one-on-ones and doing team meetings, asking people to rate their stress level and their workload separately, right? And too often we combine those things together. Someone might have a light workload and heavy stress. Someone might have a heavy workload and be doing okay from a stress standpoint. So figuring that out can help you understand as a leader how to help your employees.
I thought that was a great point. Another thing that we talked a lot about, which is so critical, and we all know this as leaders, but it's easy to fall off the wagon, so to speak, which is our one-to-ones. And one-to-ones with the team are sacred. And I thought she did a nice job of not only highlighting how important one-to-ones are, but how to conduct a good one-to-one, not have it be a status update. And she kind of gave us a little framework to say, hey, ask about wins, ask about challenges, and ask about focus. If you can cover those three things in a one-to-one, that's going to help you zone in on, how are they doing? Do they feel like they have wins? How do I help them get a positive mindset? What's holding them back? And how do we align on focus? So I thought that was really a great formula.
Yeah, I mean, I will sometimes in one-on-ones, I will proactively share something I'm challenged with, just to make it easy to say, make it more acceptable for someone to admit something that they're challenged with. Like, hey, like we're all in a struggle bus right now. We're all really doing everything we can to keep things on rails. And sometimes that's easier. Some days that's easier than others. She talked also about in group settings, encouraging people to share wins, but also encouraging people to share failures, because we're all doing that every day. Like if you're doing it right, you are focused on certain objectives, you are succeeding in part on those, but you're also stumbling, you're also failing. And so I think accepting that is part of business, and especially part of 2020, I think allows people to feel comfortable with who they are and where they are.
Well, I think the other interesting thing there was it's easy to feel like maybe you don't have a win. And so how you make small wins acceptable and highlight small wins. We talked a lot about that. I mean, she said that the feeling of progress and people feeling like they're progressing and they're having progress is a top indicator of happiness, which is, I literally wrote that one down. And then the notion of a win wall. So, how do we get people, sharing in the one-to-ones, but also publicly sharing wins? And a win might be, I get to work outside today.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be, some huge, I rocked a presentation or something.
Yeah, she said the two things that I wrote down. One is what you just said, that progress is one of the greatest motivators of happiness. So knowing and seeing that you're making progress, that the company's making progress, that your team is making progress, all those different levels matter in terms of feeling happy. I think she also mentioned that, she said psychologically, you cannot experience gratitude and fear at the same time. So if you are willing to, even on your own, like in the morning, in the evening, just decide what you're grateful for, right? It can be a super small thing. It can be as small as like, it is sunny outside and I'm going to go sit outside for 5 minutes today. Or you know what? I'm going to take this next call sitting outside. Or I'm grateful that my son finally lost his front teeth so that those teeth that were coming in behind them can finally go to the front. I mean, whatever it is, that where you can be grateful and humble and have some humility of sort of the moment and what we're dealing with. I thought there was really good lessons there. And I think that not only encouraging our team to express that gratitude, but for us as leaders to lead by example there.
Yeah, we set the tone. We definitely set the tone. And so I got a lot out of it. I think a lot of people got just tons out of it. And, there's no silver bullet for building culture and connectivity, but you have to focus on it.
You do. And I think, Jackie had a number of great best practices. There's some that are already up on the Coffee Talk Content Hub. She did a nice job talking about the platinum rule. We heard about the golden rule all the time, right? Yeah. The, treat others as you would want to be treated yourself. And she says, no, the platinum rule is treat other people as they want to be treated. So It requires you to understand different people may have different ideas of that, but that's where people really feel like you're listening, like you're taking them seriously, and where you are leaning in and meeting them where they are. On the Content Hub right now, there's a great article she wrote about being a platinum leader I think is really good. And I know that hopefully by the time some of you see this video, she's got some icebreakers for team building remotely that we're going to put up there. There's a few other resources that I think she did a really nice job of covering that people really seem to lean in on. I think this is one of those where I thought the chat was blowing up. It seemed like people were really resonating with the topic, both for themselves personally, as well as sort of how to help their teams in a more proactive way.
Yeah, I would say if you're listening and going to check out the content, also let's make it a thing next week. Let's share what we're grateful for, right? Where's the progress? Like, bring it. Small wins.
Small wins,
together.
Small failures.
Yeah.
There's gratitude and silver linings. There's recognizing that we're on both sides of this. And I think, honestly, that's part of the value I've gotten out of these Friday morning events, is just having this community of people that really are willing to lean in with each other. As people that have been there before know, I mean, we don't record them on purpose. We continue to have people every week say, "Hey, I couldn't make it. Do you have that recording?" No, we don't.
We can't.
No, we want people to come as they are. We want people to be able to share and share freely. But there's always best practices and resources that come out of it, and we'll continue to summarize those in these recap videos as well as get them up on the hub. So great session. We'll get resources up if you want them. And yeah, we got some good topics coming up next few weeks.
One last point, Matt. I thought Jamie's gratitude was hilarious. He ended and said he's grateful for soft pants.
Yes.
Which was phenomenal.
I think we are all grateful for soft pants right now. At some point, I'm going to need a lot of time. If we're going back to the office, I'm going to need it can't be like, oh, next Monday. I'm going to need some time to get back to my discipline. I'm going to have to cut off the alcohol. I'm going to have to, I don't know what. I'm just going to have to do something. But yeah, grateful for soft pants for sure.
With that, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys. Bye.